Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ability 411. It is Wednesday and I'm your host, AmberMarcy. Yes, I am making this video in my vehicle on my way to Louisville, Kentucky for Rugby Nationals this weekend. Go Storm. Come by the Fusion Medical booth if you're going to be around. I will be there working. Well, we have kind of a deep subject this week. We had somebody write in and ask us about, what do you do when one of your friends is in an accident? How are you to support? How can you help them? What do? You feel helpless. You feel like you're at a loss, How do I help? What do I do? I'm going to give you some advice. When I was injured 16 years ago, I was very, very blessed to have all of my friends around. I think number one, being a good, understanding friend is the best way to start. Don't ask too many questions. If the person's upset, let them be upset. The best thing I got from my friends was just having a set of ears. Just having somebody there to listen. Because being in an accident or finding out that you have some other sort of disability, you've developed MS and eventually you're going to be a chair user. It's a hard pill to swallow. I won't forget the day that they told me, Amber, you're probably never going to walk again. It was very difficult. Even more difficult to have to tell my friends when my friends would ask, well, are you ever going to walk again? And I never told them no. I just said, you know what? I don't know. And now I can say, you know what? I don't know, but I'm okay with it. Because this life in a chair isn't the end of the world. And that's not always what you want to hear from somebody when you do get in an accident. It's not the end of the world. Things are going to be fine because your whole life has just been totally thrown upside down. I mean, you're just like, what the hell? Oh my gosh, what am I doing? And what's going to happen to me? So I can say, for me, the best support was just knowing that somebody was there and that somebody would listen to me if I needed to talk. It's hard sometimes when you're talking and someone says back to you, well, it's going to be okay, or this will happen, and, maybe you'll walk again. And, those kind of things they're what you feel like is going to comfort that person. And I'm saying from personal experience, that's not always the most comforting. Sometimes you just need somebody there, even to just sit there in the room with you. And sometimes it is good to ask questions. If you are... you see a new piece of equipment come in the room as your dear friend is going through rehab, and you're curious, wow, that looks pretty cool. What is that? Then it's okay, I think, to ask questions. But in the beginning, it's a struggle for some people, and to sit and ask, what's that catheter, or what's this, or what's that, or why do they have that thing on your neck, or why are you wearing that brace on your stomach? Sometimes people can get, especially when they're newly injured, they may not even know why they're wearing it. Everything is so new. So I think the best way to be of a support to somebody is just, like I've said several times, be a listener. And everybody's different. Everybody takes a different, deals with things differently. For me, I was young and had friends rallied around me. I know people who were injured at an older age, and it's really hard. When you're in your 30s like I am now, I can count my best friends on one hand. When I was 15, I had a ton of friends rallying around me. They're still all my friends. I still know them all, but they're all married or have moved on. So it's really just having a good support system and being a support to that person and feeling out how they're dealing with their injury. And it's always good, and I think it's just awesome that this person had wrote in about his friend about, how do I deal with what he's going through? I feel like I can't help him. And And physically, you really can't help him. But mentally, you can be there to just be strong for that person. Sometimes it's okay to have a good cry with them. It's a loss. It sucks. But saying the things like, oh, it's going to be okay, you'll walk again, and those are just all natural things that come to people's minds when something like this has happened to a dear friend. You want to fix it. But the number one thing you have to accept is that you can't fix a spinal cord injury. Hell, some doctors can't fix a spinal cord injury. You just have to embrace it as much as you can, educate yourself, and become involved in watching vlogs like this and Googling and educating, getting out to Abilities Expos. I think the sooner after a person is injured, the sooner they get out and do new things in their chair and go to Abilities Expos, try sporting events, meet other people in chairs, the sooner they're going to adapt to their situation. And you as friends can also seek some of those things out. And I wouldn't say push it on the person that you are trying to get out or comfort or just help deal with their new situation. Don't ever try and be too pushy, but just say, hey, look, I found this adaptive water skiing clinic, and I think it'd be really cool. Let's go, because that's where you're going to meet your solid rock other people in chairs that are really going to be able to relate to you and understand your situation in a chair. So as a friend of somebody who's been injured, I feel like my friends should be in this blog with me as how they dealt with it, because now I want to go back and ask them, how did you feel when I got hurt? Because none of them ever really, they cried in front of me. I told them they had to leave the room. So I guess I knew some of them were sad, but I don't know how they felt when I first got injured. But my main focus here is when dealing with a dear friend or family member that has been injured, is really just to be a listener and to be there and let them know I am here for you 100%. If you want to talk, if you don't want to talk, if you want me to run out and grab you something to eat, I'll do that. It's really just being there and letting the person know that you're there wholeheartedly for anything. And that, I think, is the number one thing you can do for somebody who's newly injured, is just really let them know that you're there. So those are my thoughts on how to help somebody who's newly injured, or somebody who's just learning how to live life on wheels. So I hope that you enjoyed what I have shared today, and I'm off to Louisville, Kentucky for Rugby Nationals, and I am super excited. If you have a chance and you can get on Facebook, I know they are live streaming the Rugby Nationals, or maybe you could Google it at the USQRA website and maybe watch some of it, because it's going to be really cool. So hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks. Bye-bye.